Ho ha hee. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Holy shit here. In this video, we're gonna talk about Huge Wang. I mean, Zhuge Liang. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of ironic that his name has the word huge in it. Liang rhymes with Wang, and his ability is martial masterstroke. So somebody is pulling some Disney type jokes behind the scenes here. Anyway, let's talk about this dude here. He is a holy sorcerer at slow mana speed, and his stats are at 784 attack, 1090 defense, and 1753 HP. So definitely went the defense route here, and he's fairly stacked. I mean, that's pretty high stats, even for a slow mana. I want to say that's even higher than Ludwig, and that dude is ridiculous. All right, so what does Martial Masterstroke do? Summons a Shoe Soldier, that's a Tongue Twister minion, for each ally, which is 9% HP and 17% attack inherited from the caster. The Shoe Soldier minion gives its owner the ability to counterattack with 50% of its damage received for as long as the owner has a Shoe Soldier minion. This effect can't be dispelled. So just like Liu Bei, that's like a killer stat right there. The only difference is he's at slow mana, where Liu Bei is at average. So there's a big difference there. So he summons a Shoe Gorilla Fiend for all enemies. The Fiend damages the enemies with 65% attack every turn. The Shoe Gorilla Fiend absorbs healing and disappears when it has absorbed 50% of its target's health. So yeah, that's so this is kind of interesting. So he, provides a little bit of defense with the counterattack, and a little bit of minion meat protection. All right, not a whole lot, but 9% hit health points and 70% attack is basically will last like a hit. So between that and then popping off that fiend, that kind of combined could be detrimental. So let's see, he's also of the Kingdom family, which he is on his own here. So he gets 2% mana each time a minion is summoned for this hero, and then 2% heal each time the minion is summoned for the hero. So, every little bit of that counts. Plus he's a sorcerer, so he gets 4% additional mana for that class. So those little bits add up, because I feel like I should have killed him. So I feel like he ends up, charging up a little bit faster than slow. Not quite average, but all those little bits can make him charge up fairly quick. And then, yeah, that fiend is ridiculous. So if he gets that fiend off, that's 830. You have to heal for 836 health points to get rid of that. So let's just say Ariel here is healing for, let's see, like a total of, I think, around 600, give or take. So she essentially has to heal twice just to get rid of that fiend. That could make or break you right there. I mean, let's just say if he ends up going off, you're going to have a really tough time recovering if you don't have at least 2 healers, or just I don't know, somebody that creates minions. So let's say you got a fiend, right? There's another way to get rid of a fiend. Obviously, there's counters on that. But if there's a fiend and you end up having, let's say you got Bera, right? And then you have Freya. You can pop and kind of get rid of fiends by summoning minions. But it's not the easiest thing to achieve. So there are counters. Galard, he'll attack you and then you're immune from new fiends for a few turns. or you're immune to get new fiends for a few turns. There's Ezime that destroys all fiends and then heals, and then you're immune for a few turns. And there's a bunch of new characters. I can't even keep up with them all these days, but there's a lot of counters. But so let's say you got Catalan over here. So let's say you have Esme or Gallard, and you attack. They could potentially dodge that, and that would be a good defense setup mechanism. So yeah, this setup's pretty decent. But if you're not fully equipped to handle the fiend meta, then this could be problematic. So I essentially haven't really upped too many fiend counter heroes, but it seems like they're becoming more and more frequent. And just dealing with a fiend that it enables you to have to heal for 836, it's like you have to have some sort of like defense mechanism in your hanger to kind of counter that. So it forces you to up something that can counter that type of meta. So yeah, the one thing I do like the fact that he has minions and creates fiends. I think that's pretty cool, and he's got that counter attack. So I guess the counter attack is somewhat of an attack. I do wish he did a little bit of attack. I like all my heroes to actually perform some sort of attack because I need that to bank on it. So as far as like an offensive assessment here, I think he's pretty good, but he's lacking a couple categories. He's his slow mana really like bogs him down. But if you pair him, with a really good purple tank, like Hulda or Znalfod, I think even Barra might have had been a little bit better as a tank in the front. But you really need somebody to kind of like keep, Zhuge Liang alive. And, in order for him to, pop off his ability, you need that tank to really just hit home and, do his thing. So offensively, he's okay. But I don't know if he's, quite. He's pretty close to like a B plus. He with the right tank, I'd bump him up to like an A minus, just because, you end up just keeping him alive long enough to set off his ability. The defense is going to have a real tough time recovering, but you need to keep him alive long enough. So the other thing is, like defensively, it's the same deal. With the right tank, he can be as good as like a solid, A minus. Kind of stretching the A without that attack. But without the right setup, like this setup was good, but it's lacking a little bit. The synergy just wasn't quite there. So with this setup, it's good, but it's really like a B plus. With the right setup, he can be as good as an A minus, and really that's pretty much where I'll stand on how he does, because he's limit broken. And this is your best case scenario for him to go off. Cool character, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that I think paired with some other like Kingdom family, if you could like really boost that mana a little bit faster when you have more of the Kingdom family together, then maybe he could, even go up a little bit more. Maybe like an A if you had like 3 of the Kingdom family members together. But if you don't get him to have his ability go off fast enough, he's kind of subpar. So do like the character. Not quite sure if I would end up maxing him myself, but he's kind of cool nonetheless. And if you didn't realize what that original clip of the video was, that was Inuyasha. That was his brother. So anyway, hope you like today's assessment. Later, y'all.